So Lil Nas X is at it again. He just dropped a new video called Industry Baby, where it highlights prison lifestyles and has many sexual acts, homosexual acts that I'm not even gonna show in this video. And it reminds me of the video that he created earlier this year to be provocative. And I have a previous video that talks about that you can check out as well. But I'm not even here to bash Lil Nas X. I pray for the brother. I really do. I pray for him. He's been deceived, he's been hurt, and he's being used by the industry. But it's the forces behind the industry, the forces, the dark forces that are looking to destroy the community. And you know who I hold responsible for not pushing back on that? Black men, and in particular, the church, pastors. Because we're supposed to be the gatekeepers of our community. We're supposed to be the ones to push back against the forces of darkness. We have light, we have truth. But yet we have chosen to place the light under a bushel, to hide, to retreat, or in some aspects to co-sign with this stuff. Because you want to be woke. And so when you do that, when you abdicate your responsibility, when you leave, guess what comes in? It talks about this in the Bible, how when an evil spirit leaves a man, Jesus gave this parable. When an evil spirit leaves a man, it goes back and sees that it was swept and clean, but it was empty. And so he grabs with him 7 spirits that are even more wicked than he is. And they go back, and that second state of that man is worse than the first. And so that's what's happening in our community. We have allowed the enemy to come in through hip hop, through TV, through Hollywood, through movies, through books, through philosophy, through sociology, through education. All these, even in the church, all these avenues have come in and they've pushed God out, pushed Jesus out, pushed the Bible out. Oh, you can have religion. You can scream and jump and shout and yell. You can have religion, but don't give me that true biblical Christian. Don't be a true Christian. And so our houses are clean and swept, but they're empty. And so now spirits that are 7 times worse are coming in. And I place that at the feet of the black men and of pastors. Because the church should be the beacon of truth. The church should be the standard. And it has not been for far too long. Far too long, the church has not been the standard. We have to be the ones to stand up for righteousness. We have to be the ones to stand up for truth. Think about it. The church has been at the forefront of every single movement until now. The civil rights movement, abolition, even during Reconstruction. Think about the communities that were built. They dealt with this stuff that people are talking about now. They dealt with true oppression, true state-sanctioned oppression. That didn't stop them. They still forged ahead and made changes and allowed a better lifestyle to be developed and created for future generations. They didn't give into this stuff. But no, the people that want to destroy our community, the people that want to push this stuff down our throats, they're pushing the agenda and we're buying into it. We are buying into being carried like babies. We're buying into being treated like children, like pets. They want to treat you like a child. Like you are, they're saying to you, oh, you're not smart enough to do things on your own. You've been oppressed. You've been downtrodden. Here, jump on my back. I'll carry you. Jump on my back. I'll carry you to your destruction. Forget about that God, that Jesus stuff. Forget about the black man in the family. No, you don't need him. Forget about your church. Yeah, you can go yell, scream, and jump and be emotional, but don't pay attention to that biblical stuff. Just hop on my back. I have a better way. In the last days, it talks about doctrines of devils. And those are doctrines of devils. Those are truly doctrines of devils. That's what they are. They're doctrines of devils to take our minds, to distract us from the truth that's found in God's word, to believe a lie. And that's what's happening. And our children are being exposed to this stuff. They are being exposed to this. Constantly barrage with these things to normalize it. Everything has been normalized. And it started years ago. It started trickling in years ago, but nobody spoke out about it. People say, oh, we'll just be quiet and let it happen. It'll pass. And you see what's happened. It's become normalized. So now the church has been marginalized. The church is a marginalized institution. The church is on the fringes. The church is on the fringes. Instead of being the core of the community, instead of being a driving force, as it always has, it is now on the fringes. And so, no, I don't blame Lil Nas X. I don't. It's the spirit operating behind him and behind the industry that's pushing this junk and this garbage and this trash. And yet we accept it and we receive it. And don't be hypocritical, because it's been going on for a long time. It's just been the opposite way. We've had people talking about strip clubs and have women dancing around with no clothes on. This has been going on forever. 2 Live Crew, all those things. And we've co-signed all of that. Rump shaker, all those things have been going on for 30 some years. And we've co-signed on that. And so now this is a natural progression. You let the seed grow and you watered it. That's the sad part. We have watered it. And now it's produced a tree. And it's hard to cut that tree down once it's big and sturdy. And that's what we have. So no, I don't blame Lil Nas X. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Honestly, I don't even blame the industry. They are being used by the enemy. I don't. It's a spiritual battle. And unfortunately, too many of us have cowered away. So if the so-called leaders are not going to fight back, can you move out the way and let us fill in that gap? Because we're not victims. We need to be telling everyone, in particular, everyone in our community, we're not victims. We are empowered for greatness. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. That message should be resonating all throughout. It should be exploding on every street corner. But it's on us to do that. Because we are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. And we will take back the streets. We will take it back from the enemy. When the enemy comes in, like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against it. It's time to let that flood flow, wipe out all the trash that's been perpetrated in our communities and clean it up. And then when that house is clean, it's going to be occupied by truth, the truth that's found in God's word. Thank you so much for liking your comments and subscribing to the channel. Please share this with your friends. Smash that like button, smash the subscription bell, share this with everybody you know. We're trying to make sure people understand that they're not victims, that they are empowered for greatness, and all this stuff that's out here that's telling them otherwise is false and will not benefit them in the end. So please, I appreciate that. Share that.